Yes, everybody, welcome back to Full Time Devils. My name is Stephen Howson, joined by Jay, I'm joined by Adam Mckola, and I'm joined by Paul Robinson as a random one. Welcome, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm all right, I guess, apart from football and stuff. This week is the return of Jose Mourinho as Spurs boss. Said a lot of things about Spurs, didn't he? Now he's their boss. Paul, what was your reception to Jose coming in? How do you think he's been received? How do you think he's doing?
I was surprised when Pochettino went, and I was surprised at the time, and I've been completely honest. But I think Jose and Spurs seem to be the right fit at the right time. I think, as I said before, and when he first got the job, if we get the Jose that was at Man United, the miserable, seemingly grumpy one who wanted to fight the world, I don't think that's the Jose you want. But you get the one at Chelsea who was a master tactician, clearly loved his players, had a great rapport with his players. Players loved him, played for him. If you got that Jose, it would be a match made in heaven, which, you know what, it's turning out to be, because you got players like Dele Alli, younger players at Spurs who see Mourinho through his career, who's won things in his career, and they respect him straight away. Mourinho's the type of guy who immediately commands a room when he walks into it, commands respect. And I think with that respect and the line of discipline, the likes of Dele Alli and the Spurs squad will flourish under him, to be honest.
We started this week, didn't we? We was looking at, we seriously could have gone 0 or 9 this week in terms of points that we've got. 9's no longer on the table, 7's on the table. What do you reckon, Paul? How's it going to be going down for you the rest of the week? Not just the Spurs game, with Spurs and City both coming up. There are players coming back. How many points do you see United getting realistically?
I think, the Solskjaer's gone on record, I think it was yesterday or today in his press conference, and he's saying, this United team aren't far off winning, the performances are coming. But you can't accept that as a Man United fan. You've got to be winning. Manchester United, historically, you're drawing at home against Aston Villa, and the manager's saying, there was a decent performance in the second half. The shoots of the right kind of signals. For me, it's just not enough. I think United have to be winning games. They have to be winning games like Villa at home. They've won one in the last 4, and I think that was Brighton at home. And I still don't think that was overly convincing. I don't think performances and results have been good enough. With City coming up, I think Spurs, first of all, you take that game under Mourinho, a completely different proposition to under Pochettino what they are. I think they'll come to Old Trafford. And I used to go to Old Trafford as a player, and you used to think to yourself, even when I was playing for Spurs, you'd think, well, anything less than 2 or 3 today, we should get a point, because that's what Old Trafford, it was a fortress, and it was always a difficult place to go. But I think it's lost that edge now. I think it's lost that fear factor for away teams going there. So I don't think it will hold any fear for Jose or Tottenham this week. And the game against City is going to be another difficult challenge. And I think the manager is under severe pressure, especially now Pochettino is out of work. And it's clear that the United board obviously earmarked him for the job last season.
You've been in dressing rooms yourself, obviously. Have you ever been in a dressing room where the manager's getting pelters, but you as players think that you probably should be doing more? Is that a conversation that goes around in a dressing room, like, we need to be doing more here, lads? Or does it quite often fall on the manager as well from a dressing room perspective?
It normally falls on a manager's dressing room perspective, but as senior players, you rely on 3 or 4 senior players in the dressing room. But it depends on the relationship of those 3 or 4 senior players with the manager. You look at it at Tottenham, you look how poisonous that turned with the likes of Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Eriksen, Dyer to an extent. Obviously, he's not an older and experienced player, but the relationship that they had with Pochettino. And as soon as the manager in the dressing room starts to split, once he loses those senior players, then it's a very, very difficult one, to resolve. But as players, you should always carry the can. At the end of the day, it's you who's going on the pitch. And if you're not carrying out the manager's instructions, or you've lost respect for the manager, and you can tell day to day in training if a manager's, he's losing it. And you can always tell when a manager's losing it by each week he changes personnel in the team, changes team systems, looking for the example. Marco Silva's a perfect example for it. Everton. Every week there's a formation change, there's a personnel change. He's just wanting to stumble on some kind of a formula. And you can always see when a manager's struggling. And players see it more than anybody.
We've just seen that big time actually with Emery, haven't we? Emery was just rotating, just going through all sorts of mad ideas to try and find something that works. I don't think we're seeing that with Ole. I think if anything, we're seeing same old mostly. And I know we played 3 at the back last week, but I think that was literally down to how Sheffield United lined up and all the rest of it. I don't think that was him literally just cycling through. 4th spot was something that everyone thinks that United should achieve, and certainly Spurs should be looking to achieve. Mac, do you reckon the winner of this game takes a step closer to cementing 4th place?
Yeah, I think it's very difficult for any team to break into that top 4 spot at the moment. I think you look at Leicester City, the way they're churning the wins. They get a big result against Everton, they come from behind. A little bit of luck with the decision, although it was clearly onside, and they get the 3 points. So I think Leicester are probably going to stay in there. If it's anyone you're looking to drop out, it's Chelsea. I think Leicester are safe. I think Chelsea could drop out, but realistically, I think top 4 is done. With United, if we're not going to get Champions League football through the Europa League, winning it, which again is unlikely, I'd rather see us miss out on Europa League football for next season.
Yeah, that means coming about 15th,
Sunday afternoons now.
There's Europa Conference next season. You've got to come 14th in the Championship to avoid it now. We're fucked, mate.
Don't worry,
get used to that Thursday night shit.
At this rate, I think we will. I don't think we'll have an issue with missing out on European football the way we're playing. We're not getting any results, and the performances have gone away as well.
So 4th then, Jay?
Yeah, nailed on. Piece of piss. I think Leicester, bit dogged, yeah. We got a win. It was a decent result. Chelsea, I thought that scoreline flattered to deceive. And, you can look at some of the cup games, don't really count. But other than those few games, against the bigger teams, against the mediocre teams, we've been pretty dreadful.
Paul, do you reckon Jose's going to be the man to get you into the top 4?
Yeah, I think he potentially could. I think you look at the start he's had. He joined. He's a win-win situation for Jose. Let's be honest. He joined when Tottenham were 14th, the lowest league position they've had for a number of years. They had West Ham away, Bournemouth at home, and then he had a game to put them in the knockout stages of the Champions League. So within a week, he's taken them to the top half of the table, 6 points, and in the knockout phase of the Champions League. The squad that they've got, I think they're poor defensively. I think they need to buy. I think their right back area definitely needs strengthening. Kyle Walker-Peters came back on the bench this weekend, but Sergio Aurier's been playing there, and that's been a weakness for us defensively. Going forward, he's got a goal, he's got his assists, but I think there's still a real problem with his defensive capabilities, and I think he's exposed, and I think teams have exposed us down that right-hand side this year. The problem of Alderweireld, Sanchez and Vertonghen at the back, the previous manager played Eric Dyer there. Jose seems to prefer Eric Dyer to Winks and Ndombele and Sissoko, and he's been his first name on the team sheet in a defensive holding midfield role, which we know that he tried to buy him for when he was at United for a lot of money. I don't think he's the same player as he was then. Now, I think Mourinho's got a big job to do with him, but I think he'll do that on him as he will other players. I think defensively we still struggle, but going forward, we're going to be a real threat.
What do you think the issue at United is? What do you think needs to be fixed at United?
For a start, I think you need a world-class manager. I don't think you've got a world-class manager, much as a legend at the club and a hero at the club. I think that the pool of players that he's got isn't as strong as they've previously had. You lost Lukaku. Listen, when Jose came into United and then they flexed the muscles and they got Sanchez away from City when they were signing from Arsenal, I thought at that point, that was it. The United are back, as probably many people did. I thought Jose was going to be
saying stuff like that. I would have done that.
I thought he was going to be absolutely perfect for United. Got Sanchez, and I thought, here we go, United are back again. But it just never worked. I don't think they replaced Lukaku. They haven't got a number 9 and out goal scorer who's going to get 20, 30 goals a season, which they previously have had. There's a lot of young talent. I think Scott McTominay is going to be a great player. I think he already is a great player. I think he's going to be important to what they do. Defensively, they're nowhere near strong enough. Got Harry Maguire, yes, it's a great signing. But I think defensively still very weak.
Cheers, Paul.
Sad thing is, it's hard to argue with that, isn't it?
It's hard to argue any of it. I think he didn't really mention the midfield, but I think the absolute lack of midfield. I mean, realistically, without Matic, whether you like him or not, without Pogba, same again, whether you like him or not. We currently don't have McTominay. We lost Fellaini and we lost Herrera. So you take 5 midfielders out of any team and see what they do. You take 2 defenders out of City and they fucking crumbled. So I think that the midfield for me is our biggest issue. It needs heavy investment, and there might be some great players coming through, and there's plenty of room on the Dylan Levitt bandwagon. But he's an 18-year-old boy. You can't just go. You can get minutes and you can come in and impress and you can start learning your trade. But we need someone that can play to the level of Pogba. We need someone in that ballpark. When you look at the top of the Premier League, Does Scott McTominay get into any other team? Does he get in Spurs team? Probably not. And yet he's probably our best midfielder at the moment. That's indicative of how big the problem is at United.
It's like when Robert was saying there, he's saying like, Sissoko and Dembele and whether he plays them or not. We'd love one of them in a minute, wouldn't we?
I watched them against Sheffield United the other week. I went to watch the game. And the fact that Ole changed the system to combat Sheffield United's system. I mean, yeah, you're going away, it's going to be a tough game. But over the years, how often have United changed their system to suit their opponents, especially a newly promoted team, a clearly inferior team in quality? There's not many times over the years that a United manager's gone, we need to play 5 in midfield today to combat a promoted team's midfield. And that just shows the change for me.
Fuck's sake.
Right, Jay, should we start with you?
Right, I'm going to go with David De Gea in goal.
Bold.
I know, controversial,
Bold
but it
choice.
just might work.
He is bold, yeah.
Hey. I'm not having this boldism,
Player of the year
guys.
for the past 6 seasons, yeah.
Actually,
That's where it's going wrong. Your goalkeeper's been player of the year for the last 6 seasons. That should be telling you something.
it's only
Definitely
5 for the last
preparing
6 seasons.
Oh, is it only 5? Oh, sorry.
So get it right.
Was you want a centre half?
Yeah. The other one was a left back. That's how bad it is.
No, the other one was that left back.
Yeah, he's now
There
been
you go.
dropped for an 18-year-old.
He's 19.
Sorry, 19-year-old. Get it right. We're doing really well, aren't we?
Fuck me.
Yeah, sorry. David De Gea in goal. Left back, I'm going to go with Luke Shaw. This is predicted, not what I wanted to see, but I think he'll bring Shaw back in. I know you don't like that. Let's not go down that road. I'm going to go Tuanzebe and Maguire at centre-back. And I'm going to go right back. What's his name? Adam Wan-Bissaka, that's the one. That lad we bought from Palace.
How scared did he look at the ball yesterday?
Don't. Everything's going wrong. He was like mint for ages, and now even he looks nervous. Midfield, I'm going to go with McTominay. I think he's going to come back. Fred, and I'm going to go with Jesse. And then the front three of Daniel James, Marcus, and in the middle, Anthony Martial.
He's a good player, by the way, Dan James. He's been outstanding this
Yeah,
year.
he is.
I think even when you struggled at the start of the season, his performances to come in for such a young kid as well,
Even
and to get the goals and assists that he has done.
Villa, he was a top outlet for our plan.
I think he's going to be a great player.
This is the problem as well. Sometimes
behind
everyone was going on like where I was stood about slagging off like Martial and Rashford for not being in the box when he got down the wing. But half the time you can't keep up with him. Like you were watching him, they were really bombing forward. They're just not as quick as he is. He's absolutely rapid.
Adam, give us your 11. Hang on, is it different to his?
I'll be honest, I didn't listen to it.
Well, do you know what? You can at least fucking pretend, Macca. At least pretend.
Sorry, Jay.
It's all right.
Luke Shaw, Axel Tuanzebe for me, preferably. Harry Maguire, who's been dog shit this week. By the
Say
way.
what you think, mate. Don't hold back.
Yeah, stop
You
sitting
need-
on the fence.
We've dragged him and we've dragged Aaron Wan-Bissaka down to
what's
our
his name?
level.
Who? Oh, okay. What's your midfield?
McTominay. Oh, God. Fred.
He's going to pick the same team as me, innit?
Jesse Lingard.
For fuck's sake. You're just picking exactly the same 11 as me, man.
How have you managed to drag this out into
Yeah.
2 minutes to just go same
Unless
thing
you
as Jay?
pick a completely revolutionary front three.
Watch time. Watch time's going up. Anthony Martial, Marcus Rashford, and Mason Greenwood.
Oh, see that?
Changed
That was
it
like M.
right.
Night fucking Shyamalan that at the back
Yes,
then.
little
No one
twist,
saw that
little
fucking
plot
coming.
twist.
Paul, give us your Spurs 11 for Wednesday night.
Well, Gazaniga will be in goal. Right back, I think Kyle Walker-Peters is fit, and I'd put him straight back in due to the problems we've had. If it's not Kyle Walker-Peters, it will be Serge Aurier, Alderweireld and Davinson Sanchez centre-half. Left back will probably be Vertonghen again because Rose and Davis are out. If either one of them are able to come back in, he'll play Rose or Davis. He'll play 2 holding midfielders. One of them will be Ndombele. I suspect he will play Eric Dyer, but I'd like to see Harry Winks in there instead of Eric Dyer. And the front four, unfortunately for you, pick yourself. I think it'd be Son, Dele Alli, Harry Kane, and it'll either be Sissoko or Moura, depending on how attacking he wants to go. He played Sissoko in there with a 3 with Son, Ali, and him himself in a more attacking role when he normally plays Sissoko defensively. but he was good going forward and he got his goal at the weekend. So, but I think he gives you more defensive qualities than Lucas Moura does. So I think you might find that Son, Dele Alli and Sissoko playing behind Harry Kane.
What do you reckon's changed tactically then with Jose coming in compared to what Poch was doing? Because for me, it looks a little bit like Dele Alli's been pushed way forward, almost like another number 9.
Yeah, Dele's been playing a lot higher up, and he's playing directly in behind Harry Kane and sometimes to the left-hand side, which is where he prefers playing. He likes coming in off that left-hand side and cutting in onto his right foot, where he got his 2 goals the other day and should have got his hat-trick. Tactically, he's obviously tried to be a bit more defensive by playing the 2 holding midfielders, but it hasn't really worked for them. They've still conceded goals. Defensively, you've still got enough up front to threaten us and give us problems at the back. Midfield and up front, as I say, the front 4 generally pick itself. I think Mourinho's just brought a new lease of life into the place. And I picked that team, but you forget there's the likes of Eriksen on the bench who can still come off like he did in midweek in the Champions League and cause teams a lot of problems.
Oh, we're knackered. We're absolutely knackered, aren't we? Paul, give your score prediction.
3-1 Spurs. We ain't good defensively, but we're too good going forward. I think, being honest, we've got too much for you boys.
Mark, score prediction.
I've got a horrible image of Jose putting his arm around Ollie, telling us to back him. Like pointing at Ollie, saying,
After dicking us.
Yeah, after absolutely battering us.
Blowing it all over our back and wiping his
background.
dick on the curtains and then saying, stick with him, he's good. Oh, mate.
Proper moral high ground from Jose.
Yeah, I can see that. The press conference with the biggest shit-eating grin ever, saying hello to Karen and everything. Oh, come on, mate.
Respect.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 2-2.
He's going 2-2, right? I'll go.
It's not. We're gonna lose 3-2, but it's gonna be 2-2.
What are you going with? 3-2.
2-2.
2-2.
Every Jose game been 3-2 so far for Spurs.
Does it?
Olympiacos was 3-2, right?
Olympiacos was 3-2, yeah.
West Ham was 3-2.
Yeah, each one's been 3-2, yeah. No, 4 was Olympiacos.
Oh, was it? All right.
4 to Olympiacos.
Score.
I'm gonna go for a United win.
Wanker.
We go 5th if we win.
2-1 United.
No, we don't. Not anymore, we don't. I'm going to say 3-0 loss.
Fucking, I can't remember doing one of these where you've gone for a 3-0 loss. He's gone for a draw even though he thinks we'll fucking lose. And
Lads, can I tell you, this is what we feared and it's all happening this week. I said to you in March, we're going to appoint a manager that's going to be clearly out of his depth. We didn't back him in the summer, and we're going to be wanting to sack one of our heroes by the Christmas. It's fucking happening, boys. So strap your boots in and get ready to see one of our heroes crying.
Happy
days. I'm looking forward to Wednesday.
Bitches.
And on that note,
How do I go from
It's
there?
undercover bosses time.
Paul, where can everyone see more of you?
work in Qatar, being sports, so probably on your dodgy boxes if you watch football on a Saturday afternoon. Doing a lot more for
It
Sky
pumps up and down the
Sports
country
over
then. All right,
here. Doing
magic.
a lot more in the media for Sky over here and stuff as well. Enjoying doing the bits in the media and speaking to boys like you.
Appreciate it, mate.
Nice one. Cheers for joining us. Go check out Mac on his channel. I've got Sean Goter coming on my podcast.
Fucking Sean Goter.
I know, but
Has he still got a national holiday in Bermuda?
I hope so.
I used to get called the goat in school.
You did look a little bit like
a little bit of a poacher like Sean Goter.
Yeah.
It's because you had a beard at 12. Stop chatting
Yeah,
shit.
make sure you give that hoodie back to your missus before you go.
Yeah, enjoy. I'll
Right.
leave you to your mansion there.
We're out of here. If you're there on Wednesday, I'll see you there. It's Bovril weather. See you in a bit.